We are back, people. What is up? Let me move the mic. There we go. Going over Senior Bowl Day 1 recap. Uh, Lots of information, lots of people posted on the timeline looking at some videos, see who we got, some standouts, maybe guys who didn't have the greatest days in both groups. Also, Dolphins hired special teams coordinator. I guess I'll get that out of the way. Guy from the Titans. What was his name? It is scrolling. Craig Ackerman. And I've seen people pretty mad about it. Personally, I don't have an opinion because it's a special teams coach, and I think it's very hard for people to actually really know what they are doing in the room and how much impact they have. So we'll see how that ends up actually playing out. I don't really have an opinion on it right now. But looking at the Senior Bowl, we got a lot of guys. Seemed like guys had some strong days. I think sort of in looks like some DBs in the second group kind of looking out. Look like I saw some good Maxwell Hairston stuff, Trey Amos, Mac McWilliams type of thing. Guys that I like in this class. Looked like Jack Besh was performing. We'll pull up some clips of Jack Besh in one-on-ones in teams, which is nice to see. Everyone knows I'm a big Besh fan, especially for the Dolphins. I think he's such a good fit, but we'll pull up clips once people start getting in here. Who you pick at 13? I think it depends really on, it obviously depends on who's available. I think it would be the choice between some of the O-linemen that are there, like it could be Banks, Campbell, Mumbo type of situation, or Tyler Warren. I really like Penn State tight end. I think he should be in that conversation. I think he helps just transform your offense and helps out your running game and your passing game. And just makes you more physical. What's up? Yeah. Love seeing the Senior Bowl in my time. I got so many clips here that we can pull up. Some nice battles. Always fun to see the one-on-ones and things like that. I know some players, it looks like they struggled, and some guys we got to see at new positions. I think one of the standouts in the first group was Gray Zabel, the North Dakota State offensive lineman. He played mostly left tackle for them, but he's played both tackle positions. He's played guard. It looks like him in those one-on-one drills was one of the big standout winners, which I like to see. Who's the one guy that you would move up for if available at say 8? Okay, so to me, there's only a few guys in this class that I don't think I have a chance to be there at 13, and that's Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, and I don't even think they'll be out there at 8, so I'm not going to consider them. So I guess after Carter and Hunter, honestly, I would say either Mason Graham, the Michigan D tackle, because I think he'll probably be gone before then too, but I think he could get to 8. I don't think he makes it to the Dolphins. Or Tet McMillan, Arizona receiver. Because those are guys that I could see slightly falling and you really wanted to trade up. I probably wouldn't end up trading up for anybody, but those are guys to consider, I think. I see if none of those names that you just called is there. Do you trade down? I would consider trading down no matter what, honestly. Trading down to me is something I'm always considering. It just depends on what people offer you. If you get a good offer and you think this is a good value, you got to think about it. Okay, I can take this guy here. Now, do I prefer trading back and potentially getting this guy and then that other pick that I'm going to have? Think about a player that you can get in that range, But I'm always considering trading back. But I think there's going to be enough options at 13, no matter what, of guys I like that I'll be fine with someone we take, as long as just because there's more than 13 players that I would be cool with in the first round. Most of them will be gone though, but there will at least be some. But yeah, going back, just reading some people that had stand out, like Gray Zabel that we talked about, North Dakota State. We'll pull up clips of him in a little bit. But he looked very comfortable in his one-on-one pass protection drills. I'm going to have a video on him soon because I really like his ability. I like his toughness. He's just a dog. He's a certified dog. He's a good athlete as well, in my opinion. I think he would just be a really good guard at the next level. And the Dolphins are looking for a guard. I think guard is a position they can really upgrade and help the team out a lot. Walker, the defensive, he is a beast. Which Walker? At the Senior Bowl, are you talking about Deion Walker? Or are you talking about Jalen Walker? Because we were just talking about first round guys. But yeah, those are both. We'll talk about Deion Walker too, because Deion Walker is a name to know. Some other standouts, it looks like Anthony Belton, North Carolina State O-line. He's intriguing too. The only thing is, like, I don't know. He's one of those guys that he played tackle, left tackle in North Carolina State. He's very, like, physical, powerful guy, big guy too. Moves pretty well for his size. I think there was just some consistency problems. I wonder if he can play guard at the next level. If he could play guard, I would be interested. It's just, I think he's got enough power and, like, to play on the inside, and I don't think he's, like, super tall where it's, like, almost too tall to play on the inside. So I think he's one guy that can transition. Another guy that played really well today, who was, like, very impressive from what I saw in the clips, Ariante Ursery, Minnesota. He's a guy I think the Dolphins will actually like. It's just, I see him more, he did do some guard stuff today, but I think I see him more as a tackle at the next level. And tackle's not as big of a need for the Dolphins, but he is a guy that, like, he kind of is a very, like, big guy, kind of in that Patrick Paul kind of play where he's very athletic too. For his size, he's got good quickness, good anchor, play strength, balance. He's got great length. I think there's technical work that could get used, but, like, I think he plays with pretty good hand placement. Some other guys that stood out, I thought Aeneas Peebles, a guy I like a lot. Virginia Tech D tackle, just explosive. Tez Johnson, I mean, he weighed like 155, but him dominating one-on-one drills was not surprising at all. We will scroll down. I got a lot of videos here to look at. One player that I didn't think that looked that good today was Harold Fannin Jr. If you look at the clips, he just looks stiff as a mover. Elijah Arroyo, the Miami tight end, actually looked a decent amount better than him. Both guys I don't love his fit for the Dolphins, but those, I think Elijah Arroyo, like here, actually I have an Arroyo clip right here. We got boom, Arroyo lined up right here. You can just see the movement skills. I like him as a seam, like, I think he's a good route runner, one of the better movers in the class at that position. He's got good size. It's just, for the Dolphins, I'm looking more for, like, oh shoot, where'd that go? I am looking more for someone that is an inline blocker type. But he did have a really good day, so I got to shout him out. Elijah Arroyo was getting open, like, very consistently in his one-on-ones. What do you think about Jordan Phillips, the Maryland defensive tackle? Yeah, he looks good at the East-West Shrine Bowl. I haven't seen enough film, but I have seen some clips. Like, he, like, for his size, movement skills, he seems pretty disruptive. Like, he's a guy that I can't wait to watch more film of because he looks very intriguing, like, and a guy that I would like. Tez Johnson, another guy. I don't know if you guys haven't seen the clips. He was getting open all day. I think Tez Johnson is a guy that he reminds me of Tank Dell. So, like, and Tank Dell lit up the Senior Bowl too with his route running movement skills. Like, he was getting open all day long. Tez Johnson's only problem is he's literally like remember Tutu Atwell? He is like the size of Tutu Atwell. Like, he's like 156, I think that's what he weighed in at. Which is kind of crazy, but I do think he's one of the guys that can just come in right away and contribute. It's just the size kind of concerns me when it comes to, like, maybe injuries and stuff like that. Yeah, he could be a good nose tackle. He's definitely interesting from the stuff I've seen. Boom. I thought Dorian Strong actually looked pretty good for Virginia Tech corner. I've been thinking about it. I actually think corner is, like, for the Dolphins is actually a bigger need than I think most people think. Because I think you really need to have, like, 3 good corners in the NFL nowadays. And a lot of the top teams that were, like, made it far in the playoffs were very good at corner. Like, especially the Eagles. Like, you can see it right now with Philadelphia. They have 3 good corners. And, like, if you look at Fuller's contract, there's an out in it. I don't think Ramsey was playing as good anymore, but I want to see him moved around more versatility-wise. Like, Kohu's a restricted free agent. I do think adding like at least one more starting corner is actually something a bigger need than most people think. Yeah, Rondé Gadsden he's another one of those tight ends that, like, I like. He's just not what fits for what the Dolphins need. He's more of this seam threat down the field. Might lose, yeah. Well, Kohu's a restricted free agent, so, like, if they want to bring Kohu back, they can very much bring Kohu back. Yeah. Here's actually a corner to watch for. This is the Florida State corner, Thomas Azare Thomas. I don't know how to pronounce his first name, but very good press man corner in the class. I've heard like some teams actually have like round 1 grades on him, so wouldn't be surprised if he goes round 1. Very good player that doesn't allow a ton of separation. Matched up here versus, I think that's Kyle Williams, the Washington State receiver, but I can't tell 100%. But Thomas just shutting it down. Some corners looking pretty good. Restrepo looked good as well. The Miami receiver, that's pretty obvious. Another player. I think like Restrepo almost looks like he's built like a running back, and I like Restrepo a lot. I think Restrepo and Tez Johnson are players that fits the Dolphins scheme, but they're not the Dolphins already have more of those types on the roster. Like a Malik Washington is kind of an Xavier Restrepo type, so you don't really need another one. But those are good players that I like a lot. Like, this is just good on good. I love watching good on good. Like, one-on-one, it does favor the receivers. Like, there's so much room to work with. But Tez Johnson beating Thomas, working through, like, Thomas is a big corner. And here's why I think Tez Johnson can work out at the next level. Even though he's very small, is he does show hand fighting here. He's beating press versus a long physical corner by hand fighting, still getting there. And then he's very, obviously, explosive, create separation. It's just, we'll see if his body holds up with, like injuries. That's more so. I think Kone was up and down, but for corners, for the most part, corners mostly have a tough time in one-on-one drills because it does favor the receiver. There's like so much room for them to work with, way more room than normal. In normal play, there's other defenders in other spots, but I haven't seen too much. I saw him make one play that was positive. I saw him got beat on another. So those were like the only 2 plays that I saw from him. Peebles was making plays though. It looked like he was explosive. Here he is getting into the backfield. You can just see that first step, getting upfield, blowing up that play initially, basically taking 2 offensive linemen with him to the ground. I'm a big Peebles fan. I like the D lineman in this class. I think Wyatt Millam struggled from what I saw, the West Virginia line, but it looked like he mostly struggled at tackle, which, if we've talked about, if you guys have been around, I don't really like Millam at tackle. I don't think he's athletic enough. I'm pretty sure his arm length was like met the requirement to play tackle, but I don't think he is super athletic and doesn't have the other quite traits to make up for it, so he should be playing guard. I also think apparently the Miami offensive lineman Jalen Rivers played pretty well today. Another very big guy, more of an interior offensive lineman. I'm excited to watch more film on him, but he's a name to keep an eye on. I think apparently like this is Gabriel. This was like one of Arroyo's negative plays because it's the leak concept. Gabriel resetting, finding Arroyo back to their side. Arroyo just dropped it, but good play from Gabriel. Gabriel's guy's not going to wow you with his arm strength. You see, he doesn't have the greatest arm strength, but he's a very efficient player. Great footwork in the pocket, reset, accurate. Love seeing that. I think Gabriel's like the type of guy you find in this class that goes pretty late because he doesn't have the physical tools, but can be a solid back foot for you, especially in this Dolphin system. Yeah, Millam is for sure a guard. Like here's Anthony Belton had a good day. I talked about him. North Carolina State, big physical guy. I want to see him play some guard because that's where I would like to see him for Miami. I think I think he could play tackle. He had some technical issues sometimes in the film, but man, he is physical. And apparently, like he was like just said that he had a good feel for that. The spin move was coming here, and you can tell he's ready to redirect, anticipate. Very, very good, like power at the point of attack, shock in his hands, and that's versus I believe that's Ezerico. I think so. Yeah, it looks like it. And he's a pretty good pass rusher. I'm pretty sure he had a pretty good day. Like he was the one who was giving Wyatt Millam some problems. That's a good rep. Yeah, we can look at Zabel too. Here is Zabel. I think these are 3 clips from Zabel. posted on the timeline. Here he's at center. He's making money today in these pass pro 101s. Definitely wins that rep, finishes late. Then at guard, look at him reset the hands right there. This is versus Darius Alexander, and I like Darius Alexander as well, who gives with that nasty club. He has a club right there to the back elbow, and then look, his hand comes down. In this situation right here, most O-linemen should lose. But the fact that he's able to reset that left hand and recover so fast makes me feel really good about him. That recovery ability is so important. You're not going to win the hand fight initially every time, and now he's able to just completely wash him, win that battle. This is good because I really like his run blocking stuff on film, so seeing more pass protection is nice. Because his run blocking obviously was dominating some small school guys. Here he's going against some good players. Here against Peebles, look at him redirect his feet. Peebles tries to cross his face. He's very explosive. He's able to get his hands across, get physical, stay on his feet too. Look how good his balance is. I'm a big fan of Zabel on day two of the Dolphins. Just want a guy who's a guard for you. How big is Zabel? Let me actually look what did he measure at? Because he should have measured. He's not the biggest guy, but he's not like super small either. He's not like way undersized. Where's this? I wish Senior Bowl has it posted, but they don't have it posted like with its name, so you have to like scroll through stuff. It looks like he was about 6'5", 315, 316, 6'5", 316. He had like 32 and a fourth inch arm, so like he should play tackle. Like 32 and a fourth is not what you want at that position. But yeah, I really so like guard center for Zabel, and I think it would fit right in what the Dolphins want to do at guard. And like Dane Brugler said it, like Gray Zabel has been dominant during one-on-one. He was doing it left guard, right guard, center. We just got able to see it. Grip strength doing good, staying square. It was a lot of guys backed out too. So like I haven't like Jonah Savinea. I actually don't think I saw anything about him. So maybe he didn't practice because I know a lot of people backed out. So maybe if you guys have seen anything, I didn't see like literally not like nothing positive or negative. So maybe he just didn't practice because usually I saw most things about players. Like I heard the good things about Shamar Stewart, the Texas A&M defensive end. Like that guy is a freak of nature. Doesn't surprise me that he's excelling in some of these drills because that guy can just straight up bully people. And he'll go first round. I know some people have been questionable with it, but he's going to go first round. And if Dolphins were to go edge, that would be one I wouldn't be mad with just because I think he fits in pretty nicely with what the Dolphins have. He like meshes well with Chop, but I still don't think the Dolphins should go edge necessarily. Here's another example of Arroyo winning down the field. Elijah Arroyo have made himself some money. Like the movement skills, man. He looked better than Harold Fannin Jr. And I know Fannin Jr. was very productive at Bowling Green. And you should still take like film is the biggest thing. Like practice, this stuff helps. This helps you like be able to get a better feel for players. But like this is not the end all be all by any means. But it definitely helps you paint the picture. But like I think it shows on film like Arroyo's a better athlete and has better size. I don't think Xavier Watts is practicing because I think a lot of the Notre Dame and Ohio State guys, since they were kind of beat up from the, still playing games not that long ago, they didn't play. What do you think about Mason Taylor? I like Mason Taylor. I have a video. I recorded a video on him. It's members only right now, but it should come out in the next couple of days for everyone to see. Mason Taylor, Gunnar Helm, Tyler Warren are probably my three favorite fits for Miami at our like top of the tight ends. I think Mason Taylor's a day 2 tight end. He looked good today too. I have some clips that will get to him eventually. I'm just scrolling one at a time, but I like Mason Taylor a lot. I know Daniel Jeremiah, obviously ex-NFL scout. He posted his top 50. So like looking at his top 50, it shows you like a decent amount of how he feels about player. And I think he had Taylor pretty high. His top 3 is actually the same as mine. He has Carter, Hunter, Genty. I think I have Hunter, Carter, Genty, but we have the same top 3. And he has Mason Graham at 4. But he has Tyler Warren at 5, which we've talked about how much I love Tyler Warren, and he has him at 5. He also has Loveland at 7, so he really likes the tight ends. Jahdae Barron at 9, the Texas corner. That's his first corner, and I love him as well. We have some similarities there. I'm trying to see. He has some people lower than that I like. I don't remember where he has Mason Taylor, but he has him pretty high. Scrolling. I know he has him in the top 50. Yeah, he's him at 35. Big athletic tight end. He has quickness. He's got great hands. He's tough. He can play inline. He can play as in the slot if you want. I really like his inline work because that's what the Dolphins need. They need someone that can play inline and block and be attached to the line of scrimmage. But also, some of those guys aren't always the greatest when it comes to being involved as a receiver. I think Taylor's one of the few guys that is. I think Warren is bad for the Dolphins. Horrible. I mean, that's sincerely as a Chargers fan. I swear to God, every mock I've seen, they have the Chargers taking Loveland. And I think both are very good, by the way. I just think Warren, I know you're obviously playing around. You want the Chargers to get Warren. I just think Loveland's not a fit for Miami, but honestly, they both would probably be great with the Chargers. The Chargers definitely need more help. I know I love Ladd McConkey for them. I don't mind picking time after we address the guard and safety positions. Yeah, I just think I'm all best player available. So as long as we are able to attack every position in free agency, if we can attack guard and safety in free agency, then we don't need to force any position in round 1, you know? And the Dolphins have enough picks that they don't need to force really too many positions. Yeah, there's positional value and there's positional need that you have to take into account. But as long as they play their cards right in free agency, I think they can get to a spot where they can just take best player available. Seeing people argue over the special teams hiring, that's always fun. Let's see. Okay. What else do we got here? Oh, yeah. We didn't talk about Ursery, really, but I think I have a better video of Ursery. Let's see. I don't have a better video of Ursery, but here's him right here. Minnesota tackle. He looked really good today. Look how he is huge. This guy is this is the type of guy that the Dolphins would love to have at tackle. He kind of gives that, he's that Patrick Paul size, but also moves really well. But I also think he's better than Patrick Paul was coming out of Houston. He's got better technique. He plays with good hands. He's got a good anchor. I think he's going to go somewhere in the first round, probably later first round. So I don't think he's a Dolphins ranged player just because I do think they would like him at tackle, but I think they're looking more for someone that if they draft a tackle that he can play guard for them early. And I'm just not quite sure I see Ursery playing guard. They did have him inside at guard at one of these plays, I believe. Right here, he's aligned at guard. But that's only one example, and I'm not 100% sure if he's gonna be super comfortable about it. Been seeing buzz about Tez Johnson. I feel like the Broncos get him for Bo. Yeah, aren't him and Bo are wait, I forget the story. Aren't they literally brothers basically? But yeah, Tez Johnson, I showed clips on him earlier. He had a really good day. He reminds me of Tank Dell. I've talked about it. He obviously weighed at 156, so he's very small. He's Tutu Atwell small basically. But I think he's a guy, here's a clip. Here he is versus press man coverage versus Thomas, who's a long physical press man corner. He's able to hand fight through it and then create late separation. He's a very good route runner. I think he's a guy that will be able to, even though at his size, I think he's good enough as a receiver that he can contribute right away, getting open. It's just, can his body hold up at the next level when it comes to not getting injured? That's kind of I think the biggest question mark for him. But if he's able to keep himself relatively healthy, I think he has a pretty productive NFL career. They are adopted brothers. That's what it was. Yeah, that's cool. I couldn't remember exactly because I had it. I think I haven't been keeping too much up with Tej Johnson this cycle. I do like him though as a player. It's just, where am I? Okay, cool. Yeah, but Ursary was another guy that looked really good. I thought Connerly looked good from Oregon. From what I've seen, I think that was expected though. I think he's a first-round tackle, but he's a good player. There are some other guys that had some good reps, like some good reps from some edge defenders, pass rushers. The DB from Louisville, I thought Quincy Riley had some good reps. But let's see. Yeah, Shamar Stewart, Texas A&M, edge, good day. Here's another view of that. This one from NFL Network, actually. There's another view of that Zabel rep versus Darius Alexander, where he look at him right here. When you're in this position, you should lose the rep. And I like Alexander a lot too, as like a day 3 D tackle. But look how he's able to quickly reset those hands. He refits him so fast and gets back in position and still like shows great balance because he's over the top here and not in a position where he can get his hands back to where he needs to. But he's able to anchor, play with good base. Love that. Redirection skills. Would you trade the first for multiple day 2 picks? Probably not. If you like traded back and still got a first and then maybe a day 2 pick, I'd like that, but no. Taylor, the Canadian quarterback. I heard he looked pretty solid. I also heard Jackson Dart did not have a good day, from my understanding. He looked pretty inaccurate for the most part. But that doesn't super surprise me. I'm not the biggest Dart fan, but we'll see if he can kind of turn it around. Here's a good rep from TJ Sanders, the South Carolina D tackle right here. Look at him just hit the speed to power. And he's not the biggest guy either, but like he was known for like his athleticism at the D tackle position, but him converting speed to power here versus I think that's Dellinger, who I haven't watched, so I'm not sure how he is, but not a great start from the one rep I've seen of him. And here's my guy. Here's Jack Besh. I love Jack Besh. Look at his movement skills for a guy of his size and route running. Look at him attacking leverage. I don't know who the quarterback is, but he misses him. Who is that? Looks like that might be Leonard, but gets up on him, sells hard to the inside and works through contact. Love that rep from Besh. Big Besh fan. I think he's just going to be a very good pro. That was an Eichenberg rep. Oh, the Dellinger one? Yeah. Got some Jalen Royals action going on here. Jalen Royals top of the screen. He's another guy that I'll have a video out in the next couple of days. I have him and Zabel and Royals are the videos I'm recording next. I already recorded Mason Taylor. And I have Mason Taylor's video done. Who else did I have done? Jalen Noel and Devin Neal. I recorded those already. And then Jalen Royals, boom. Look at I like his release package. I feel like Royals, and I think he came in around like he was like in between 5'11" and 6 foot, so like under 6 foot, a little over 5'11", and he was like around 210. And that's like a really solid build for a receiver, almost built like a running back. He has good movement skills. He has solid hands. He can run routes. He's good with the ball in his hands. I just feel like he's one of the more well-rounded receivers I've watched in this class. I think Royals will be like, I don't know where he's going to go. Could go round 3 or something like that. Maybe round 2. Maybe even round 4. Utah State guy. I just feel like he's a receiver that's going to have a good day or a good NFL career. Brandon Adams interception, the UCF corner. Brandon Adams, BJ Adams. There's 2 UCF corners here. Here he's at the top. Physical press. I think that is just good job staying in the hip pocket. I don't know which receiver that is, but he's able to get physical, carry it, basically runs the route for the receiver, and then ball skills to finish. it's a good rep in a 1-on-1 from a corner. Those are always favored towards the receiver. So, have you had a chance to see any Shrine guys? I've seen some of the Shrine clips that have been going on, and I've watched some of their film. I haven't watched a ton though, so it depends on what we've seen. The guys I see, do you think they will measure at their team's pro day? Yeah, I'm sure they will. And combine stuff, we'll see all like that stuff as well. We'll see how they test, which will be interesting. Kind of sucks that they weren't able to get everything, but any tape of Donovan Walker, D tackle? Do you mean Deion Walker, Kentucky? I don't think I know a Donovan Walker. I don't think I have it saved, but I did see a clip of Deion Walker just doing like a bag drill versus a coach, and he hit the bag so hard the coach got immediately pancaked. So, and Deion Walker and Walter Nolan are two guys. I mean, they're very different players, but they're two D tackles in this class that are like, I really like their athletic and physical profiles. Like, Nolan is built like a fucking tank, and then Nolan's built like a tank, and then Walker's just huge, even bigger than Nolan. Nolan's a little, a little lighter, but very powerful, very explosive. They're both very powerful, very explosive players that have some high level reps. It's just the consistency. They're not always productive. They're not high level every single rep. They're both guys that are probably going to go late day 1, early day 2, if I had to guess, especially if they interview pretty well, because the upside is there for them. It's just hard to get a really good feel for them as players. Yeah, 6'7", 340 is insane. But like, I watched more Deion Walker last night because I hadn't watched him in a while. But man, his high level reps are so good. But then there's reps where he just like, I think 6'7" sometimes hurt him because he plays like really high, and that causes him to like not have super good reps. But when he fires off the ball with a good pad level and leverage, oh my god. Jordan Reed said this about Walter Nolan too. I saw this. He kind of compared him to Ed Oliver, and I think that's a good comp. Because Ed Oliver was also a guy that was just like well built, maybe not the biggest, but was very explosive, straight line, like get up the field. And it took Oliver, I think, a couple years to develop to become an impact for Buffalo. Like he wasn't as good as they wanted early on, but I'm pretty sure he's like a solid player for them now. Yeah, Elwood, I believe Charles Grant, the William and Mary tackle, is not participating. I think he accepted an invite, but he's not participating, which is bad for him, because he was one of the guys I really wanted to see versus better competition. Because he has some good film that really flashes, but it's tough to do when you're watching him versus like Towson and things like that. Yeah, I agree. I'm not the super big on those types of guys that have inconsistent film, because sometimes they go to league and end up being great. But I think when you're not a scout or a team, from our perspective, we don't get to meet these players. So we didn't get to actually know how they feel about the game, their maturity level, what the reasoning is, behind them maybe not having the most consistent play. Because usually when you get to meet them, there's a reason for it. They were just maybe not well coached. That's it. They just need better coaching. If they just need better coaching, they go to the right team. Like, yeah, they can absolutely blow up and be a great player. But sometimes it's them just not caring to be better. And that makes me feel like, okay, I don't want to touch that guy. But from our perspective, we don't have that type of information. So that's why I'm always just like a little more, neutral on them, because I don't have the full picture painted. Here's another Jack Besh rep. I got all the Jack Besh stuff in the slot. I've talked about Jack Besh. I think he is more of a big slot at the next level. He played tight end at LSU. I do think he can do some work on the outside, but like, he is consistently beating press, getting open, and then also making the tough catch away from the frame. Love seeing that. I think this might be the Taylor kid, right? I can't tell who this is at quarterback, but I'm imagining that's the Canadian kid. But yeah, good job going up, making a catch above the frame. Big fan of Besh. Yeah, that's what we've heard. But also, I'm pretty sure we heard the same concerns last year with Sweat, which made me concerned with Sweat. But Sweat had a really good rookie season, so. But also sometimes it takes longer than 1 year for things to get messed up. Also, my guy, Jacob Parrish. Two of my guys right here actually in a battle. We got Jacob Parrish and Royals at the top here. I had Parrish video, believe the Parrish video came out today. But really good rep in man-to-man press, anticipation on the route break, hands to play through. As I was saying, I think corner is a slight bigger need than we've been discussing. Like the more I've thought about it, I'm like, dude, I think every team needs like 3 good corners, because if you run, like, look what happened in the Bills game, the Bills Chiefs game. The Bills were a team that had 3 good corners: Benford, Douglas, and Taron Johnson. Benford went down with an injury. They put Kyer Elam out there, and they just went after Elam every play, like every single play, and he, I don't think, stopped one of them. And the Dolphins have Ramsey, Fuller. Last year was Ramsey, Fuller, Kohu. This year we don't know exactly what it will be. Ramsey for sure. But will Ramsey play outside, inside more? Will he even play some safety? Who knows? Obviously, Ramsey's a part of the equation. Fuller, I think there's a potential out in his contract. They could go in that direction. Kohu is a restricted free agent. Then you have depth after that. I like the depth guys they have as people to develop. But I do think there's some potential upgrading that they can have. Oh yeah, Kobe Bryant. I love competitors. I like guys that are very competitive at corner. It's the position I think the most that you need. They need to have like an ego, and Bryant is one of those guys. Like, he's got an ego out there, and I like how competitive he is. I don't know where he's going to go in the draft, but he is a guy I like. Will you be live during the draft? Yeah. That's Hennigan, Memphis QB. Thanks. Yeah, I forgot Hennigan. I haven't seen him play yet, but I was gonna say I thought the Taylor kid was taller when I watched him for a sec, but I was like, maybe I'm just misjudging. Well, yeah, I'm gonna be live during the draft. Last year was the first time I ever was live during the draft, and it was pretty fun. So I only did day 1 and day 2. Maybe I'll go live during day 3, because I feel like that's when people. To be fair, the one that people watched the most was when I went live after day 3, because a lot of people are live during day 1 and day 2. So maybe I'll try to do day 3, where it's like pretty exciting, especially because the Dolphins have a lot more picks this year. Yes, and ego, like, yeah, his name definitely, yeah, it suits him. Here is Mason Taylor. Mason Taylor versus Hunter Wohler. Some good action in 1-on-1s. Taylor looked good out there. I think he just looks like very smooth at his size. I don't believe this one is, it's an overthrow, but like, I think he has a pretty good route run on this rep. I like seeing this where, as we've talked about this a lot with Waddle, where Waddle takes a lot of inside releases to break outside, or outside releases to break inside. It's a tough ask for a tight end to do that. And I think he does a pretty good job creating enough separation. Like, if this ball's thrown pretty well, like Wohler's going to the ground. Taylor shows good movement skills. Taylor video will be out very soon. I've already recorded it, so, and he's fluid. Big fan of Taylor. What's up? Quincy Riley was really good for us here in Louisville, but tackling is an issue. He gambled. Yeah, I haven't watched Riley film yet, so I'm excited to get to Riley film, but he looked pretty good today from what the videos I saw in coverage. But that makes sense, yeah. Sometimes those things happen. Yeah, I know like Trey Amos had a pretty good day. Here is Royals again. Royals beating Brandon Adams in nice little battle on the outside. Always nice to see 1-on-1s. I think Royals shows a really nice release here. He does a good job of just like a quick release. He does a split release here. Hard to tell from this angle, but you can just tell he splits, which gives him a 2-way go. And then Adams shoots his hands. He does a good job fighting through contact, and then smooth getting out of his breaks, catch the ball with his hands. I think Royals is just so well-rounded. I think the only area on film I saw Royals kind of struggle with was his contested catchability. We go up. Oh, where am I? Here's a tweet I saw from Jordan Reed too. I want to talk about. He said Maxwell Harrison had a really nice first day. Like his hips, fluid mover, change directions with ease. Here he is being physical versus Hairston as well. Or not versus Besh. This is Besh versus Hairston. And it was the one rep I saw Besh lose in all the videos. And Besh had a good day. So it was nice to see Hairston being very physical. Hairston was actually one of the first corners I watched in this class. I actually have notes on him. I think good short area quickness, plays with excellent instincts, very comfortable from off man, zone coverages. Feel like he could also play nickel potentially. Like he didn't really play that at Kentucky, but I think he could potentially play some nickel. Ball skills there, very scrappy, squeezes leverage. I think being a scrappy player at corner always helps, which also made me believe he could play nickel. But here he is in press versus Besh. And Besh was cooking people. And Besh is a good releaser. But Hairston stays patient, stays physical on the slant here. You can just see him not giving up his inside leverage, which is the biggest part here. Because Besh sells hard, like he's going to break to the outside and tries to violently break in, but Hairston continues to fight through it. I think they end up throwing a flag here. I don't know. I could see why they would call a flag, but I don't think he did it within 5 yards and he got maybe a little handsy, but it wasn't like anything crazy. I just like seeing nice physical reps in one-on-ones. Kind of off topic question, but who do you like for the Super Bowl, Chiefs or Eagles? I don't know. I don't think I would ever bet against the Chiefs. I think the Eagles are the better team, though. I think the Eagles are the best team in the NFL. I just think the Chiefs have clearly the better quarterback that will always give them a chance. That shouldn't be a flag. Yeah, I agree, Scotty. And I'm a Besh guy, too. Go live for day 3, yeah. Yeah. Well, last time I didn't go live on day 3, but once the draft ended, I went live and then we talked about day 3 guys and the UDFAs. And so I don't know. We'll see what happens. The draft is still pretty far away anyway, so I might do. I mean, either way, I'm going to go live eventually. It might just be right after. Because one thing is, I think a lot of people go live during the draft, so a lot of people are also watching other people's So then if I just go live after when people are done, then people can watch more of it, I guess. Because that's how it worked. Like last year, there wasn't that many people watching me live, but more people after the fact watched it, like a decent amount. Darian Porter, Iowa State. Yeah, I think I have my notes on him. Let me find him. Where's Porter? I think he is he's obviously very long, athletic guy, like long and athletic, good recovery speed. I wish he was a little more I think he's pretty lean. I wish he was a little more physical. I think he's a tough guy to beat vertically because of that long stride, long arms, long speed to carry people. I think he's a cover 3 corner. I also wouldn't be surprised if he ends up moving to safety too. He's a former receiver, so he's got ball skills. But I think if you're think of when Pete Carroll in Seattle, like that defense they ran, like that cover 3 match scheme. I think that's where he would be good in. And the Dolphins do run a lot of cover 3. I think that was their most ran covers last year. He's not my favorite player, but I can definitely see the upside with Porter. Yeah, scheme fit for Finns. Yeah, Kyle McCord and Brosmer from Minnesota. From what I've heard, McCord was in Brosmer, I don't know how to say his name, were both pretty good at the Shrine Bowl. And I've watched both of their films. I think McCord is one of the better backup options in this class. I think they're both good processors, both good at working in the middle of the field, and they both have run similar concepts that Miami runs. So I haven't watched all the other guys, but I don't, from what I've seen at least a little bit of them, I don't think they're the best scheme fits. Yeah. For the coaching changes, I don't have too many thoughts. As people said, it's very hard to judge positional coaches like that. It's unless they have a crazy resume that backs it up. It's a lot of us are just guessing if they're gonna be great or not. Woolen. I think you mean Tariq Woolen, yeah, similar to that. But Woolen was even more of a freak athlete, more of a physical freak than Porter was. Porter's a good athlete though. Woolen was just also physically built. Porter's a little more lean. Ozzy Trapio. I think Ozzy Trapio is a tackle. I think he's too like long, plays too high. What I forget what he weighed in at, but I'm pretty sure he came in pretty like pretty tall, right? But he definitely seems like more of a tackle to me from what I've seen. Here's another rep that I had pulled up. Finish these off. Here's Taylor versus Wooler again. Taylor, I think, does a good job in his stem. I think he works like good route pace, tempo. He does a good job of leaning into people to create that separation. He's also just a good mover. Quality hands catcher, becomes a threat after the catch. As I mentioned, I'm a big Taylor fan. Taylor would be one of the better fits for the Dolphins at tight end if that's the direction they wanted to go. And this is the last video I had saved. This was two players that had good days. This was Shamar Stewart versus Carson Vincent, from what I heard. Vincent does a great job here versus Stewart's spin move. I think he made himself some money here in Pass Pro Reps 101. Like, look at, like, and he's Alabama A&M. This is where Stewart texted him, like, one of the freakiest guys in this class. And I look at, like, he's patient with his hands. He's playing with good knee bend. Look at him redirect his feet for the spin move. Playing with, like, good overall bend there. Like, really, really good job on that rep. And Stewart was, like, giving people problems all day, too. That's good. But Vincent is also more so at tackle, just with, like, his build and stuff. I think that's the case for a lot of these guys. They're more so, a lot of these, like, longer tackles, like think Patrick Paul last year, like, they're more just tackle-only players than guards. It's like the same thing with Ariante Urshari, the Minnesota guy, who I think had a really good day. And then there's some guys who are just not, like, don't have enough weight on them to play tackle or to play guard. Like, I think Connerly is one of those guys who's a tackle-only player. Have you looked at Matthew Golden and Jadon Blue out of Texas? Yeah. Matthew Golden is one of my favorite players to watch in this class. He gives me, like, Terry McLaurin, Stephon Diggs type vibes. Great release packages. Very good route runner. Very explosive. Good at the catch point. Because sometimes those guys are maybe a little undersized, which he is a little... He's not the biggest guy by any means. They struggle at the catch point, but I think he's got great ball skills, which I think is a big plus for him. And then Jadon Blue, I think, is one of the better receiving backs out of this class. So if you're looking for, like, a late round receiving back that's really fast, like one of the fastest guys in the class, Jadon Blue is your guy. Yeah, big body receiver. Jaden Higgins is one. I think if Jaden Higgins is there on day 3, I'd be down. I think Jaden Higgins just really, like, slow. And I really want a bigger body that's at least has some long speed to him to, like, threaten vertically. Like, if you watch a lot of Higgins' reps, he's making just contested catch after contested catch. He's very good at contested catches. It's just he doesn't create much separation. He does have some quickness to his game, though, for a guy his size. As we talked about, Jack Besh is another guy. The Stanford kid who isn't playing in the Senior Bowl, unfortunately, but Alec A. Minor is another big body guy that I like at receiver. Besh, A. Minor, Caden Prather, the Maryland receiver. I like him a lot as a scheme fit. He's a bigger body. Trying to think of other bigger bodies. Savion Williams is another bigger body. I don't necessarily love him, but he's a name to know. Depends where he goes. And then, yeah, Ted McMillan, who's at the top of the draft. A. Minor, yeah. You want a guy, yeah, A. Minor from Stanford. You want a guy that's physical and can block. He might be the best. He's one of the best blockers in the class. Very physical. I think he has a limited route tree, but the routes he does run are good. But he only maybe it was just the offense, the scheme, but he only ran, like, slants, hitches, and goes. But he was physical, good at the catch point. If you watch his 2023 film versus Colorado, I think he had over 200 yards against them, and he was giving Hunter a lot of problems. I'm a Savion fan after round 5. Yeah, if it's day 3, I can get on the Savion Williams train. It's just I've seen people with day 2 stuff, and I'm just not there. You said you like Dante Thornton, wide receiver, Tennessee. Honestly, I don't even remember talking about Dante Thornton. Obviously, I've seen him. I go to the Tennessee games, but yeah, he's another guy with he can be a vertical threat for you. If you're looking for, like, a day 3 vertical threat, I could see that for Thornton. Not too bad of a shout there. Watch this. Here's some pretty good Ursary reps, by the way. Ursary, right here, left tackle, versus Mike Green, and then I believe after this, Landon Jackson. But you can just see, like, Mike Green, he tried to hit him with the power rush. He does a good job anchoring there and then finishing late. But also just, like, look at this is a big guy right here. Look at the quickness out of his stance. He's got good foot quickness. And Mike Green's one of the better pass rushers he's going to see here at the Senior Bowl. Good strike timing. If you're looking for a tackle, he has apparently played some at guard in the practice. I want to see more. If he can play guard, I would be interested. Also, good hand fighting here versus Landon Jackson to get him to the ground. Landon Jackson, another very long, big player. He just wins with hands. I feel like Ursary is going to probably go in round one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have any. The running back class is pretty solid, but we'll see how it works out. I think Jalen Wright will be fine if we get some offensive linemen that can block. Yeah, that was a violent hand swipe. Let's see though. But that was definitely the clips I wanted to show, but it was nice to see. I've seen here's some people saying stock up, Maxwell Hairston. I know people were giving Jack Besh love, which is nice to see. Love that. Willie Lampkin, the North Carolina bro. He came in weighing. Okay, Willie Lampkin has good film, but like I don't know if he can play. He's so small. He's weighing 270. That's insane. But he plays physical as hell, and I gotta respect that. Yeah. Jordan Reed said, Jordan Reed, who's from ESPN, big draft guy, he said most impressive player today on either team with North Dakota State, Gray Zabel. So I'll have a Gray Zabel video up tomorrow, I think. So keep an eye on that. I like Zabel a lot. I've had the clips on Zabel for a while. I just haven't recorded it yet. So that one will be out soon. Yeah, I hadn't heard too much about the linebackers today because I know like Schlesinger isn't playing. It's just in these one-on-one drills, you don't really get to. They don't post as much on the linebackers. I heard some positives about Cody Lindenberg though. Just about like how he maybe like he got interviewed by a lot of teams and like he looked like he was moving pretty well. So that's a name to know. Lindenberg, Minnesota. We talked about him a little bit last time. I also heard the Munden Smith. I don't know how to say his name. Smale Munden Jr. I think the Georgia linebacker. I think I heard positives about him, but I forgot to save that. Colorado School of Mines. Lunch good? Yeah, lunch was good. I made burgers. Oh. But yeah, I think that's all the guys I want to talk about today. We'll talk about what happens day 2 tomorrow, and then we'll talk day 3, and then maybe talk about we'll maybe go live during the bowl game itself when that happens over the weekend. But yeah, I'll continue to have a lot of players like film out this week. I'm gonna have film out every day pretty much, like a film breakdown on college. Hopefully the videos don't get copyrighted, but hopefully everything stays fine. But we'll try to hopefully it all works out. But yeah, I like Lindenberg if he's like a day 3 guy, not like super late day 3. But yeah, do you guys have any questions for? Because those were all the players I had. Peace. Yeah. See, I hadn't even said goodbye yet, and you guys are already peacing out here. Yeah. Honestly, I don't even know how to. The Shrine Bowl, probably not, but Senior Bowl, maybe. We'll see. Missed your question. Was it the one, the Boston College kid? I haven't seen him yet. Drew Kendall. I'll put his name down. there's a lot of people I have to watch. Because some of these guys that I've seen at the Senior Bowl, I haven't even had a chance yet, and I'm hearing their names being called and stuff. Yeah, I'll check him out. Did he play? He played center / guard, or that's where he's being projected. Any other names on here? Those. Unfortunately, some players didn't get to go. I know Marcus Bowe maybe had a little bit of an up and down day, the Purdue kid. And he was playing mostly tackle. Yeah. Love when the Senior Bowl is back up. Even though I think we promised to change. I think a decent amount of people actually backed out, but that's just... They still had so much talent there. It is funny. I am on Twitter looking at people freaking out about a special teams coach that we have. We don't know anything about, let's be honest. And we know, the Titans fans said he's horrible. But to be fair, Titans fans also told me Aaron Brewer is horrible. And I knew Brewer was not horrible. But that's because I had film. Okay, well. Looks like we're ending it today, guys. Pretty solid stream, went about a little less than an hour, so quick little short one, but we are gonna just cover the Senior Bowl this whole week. We're gonna have